Hi, this is Sarah with Posh Pooch Designs, and today's video I'm going to show you how to make this super duper easy cowl. It's called the Mentor Chunky Cowl, and it is the perfect gift for a man or a woman or anybody that you want to give a gift to, but you don't have a lot of time, but you want to give them something really nice. And this is a really great cowl to make and give because it's not hard at all. It stitches up really quick because we're using chunky yarn. This one is made with Hometown USA, which is a chunky number 6. And you can do this with a 5, 6, or even a 7 chunky. You can even do this with several strands of worsted weight just held together. For the chunky number 5, you would hold 2. For a 6 or 7, you would hold 3 strands of worsted weight together to do this project. It's really simple. It is a cowl that's all hooked together. And as you can see, depending on what kind of yarn you choose, it can be masculine or feminine. And all you're going to need is about 6, maybe 7 ounces, depending on how long and how tightly you stitch, of a chunky yarn. For today's demonstration, I'm going to be using this Lavender Orchid by Red Heart Grande, and it is a 7. I had used this to make some other cowls, some arm knitted cowls, and I had 2 of these left. So I thought this would be perfect to make this demonstration for this cowl. You're going to need your end hook. I'm going to be using an N9 millimeter, but you can use your N10 as well. Even with the Grande, you might want to go up a little. Just depends on how tightly that you stitch. You're also going to need a needle with a great big eye, and this is just for weaving in your ends. We're not going to be adding anything to it. Now you can add a bow or buttons or whatever you want to embellish it for whoever you give it to, but it really isn't necessary. It works up so pretty and so nice that it really doesn't need, in my opinion, of course, any extra embellishment. And of course, you'll need your scissors. Now, if you want to practice, just grab you some leftover worsted weight yarns and hold them together, working with 2 or 3 strands. Or if you've got some extra chunky that you have left over, because it works up really fast, and you're really going to love this pattern. To get started, we're going to make our slip knot, and then we're going to chain 82 chains. Now, this is going to give you a cowl that measures about 40 inches long and about 5 inches wide. If you want your cowl longer, you're going to need to add more chains. And with this big chunky yarn, I would say 2 chains equal about 1 inch. And I'm saying about because everybody stitches differently. For today's demonstration, I'm going to be stitching the 82 chains. So I stitched my 82 chains, and at this point it's very important that you don't twist your chain. And I lay it out flat like this and run my fingers around because we're going to join to the first chain with a slip stitch into a circle. Let me pull that out of the way. There we go. And this is the length of our cowl. Now, if you look at this and you say, oh my goodness, I want it a lot longer, open up your slip stitch and make it as long as you want. Because we're not doing any fancy chain texture or stitching. It's just basic stitches, so you can add as many chains as you want to. Okay, so we slip stitched in our first stitch. We'll move that out of the way and we'll weave that extra string in later. So what we're going to do is the first row, we're going to place 1 single crochet in each single crochet around. And a single crochet, you go in. My yarn is backwards there. You pull up your loop. There we go. Yarn over and go through both loops. One thing I will tell you is when you're working with a chunky yarn, it's better to stitch a little bit loose for this project, especially when you're doing your beginning chain so that you can get through all the stitches. So we're going to stitch 1 single crochet in each single crochet around our chain. Then when we get back to the beginning, we'll join to this first single crochet, and then we're going to chain 3. So I finished my row of single crochet, and now I'm going to join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this chain 4 is going to count as a double crochet and a chain 1. So we have a chain 3 and a chain 1. Chain 4 counts as a double crochet, chain 1. We're going to skip the next stitch, and then we're going to stitch a double crochet in that next single crochet. And the way this pattern is going to work is we're going to chain 1, we're going to skip the next stitch, and then double crochet in the next stitch. And that's how it's going to look for this next row. So we have our double crochet, chain 1, then we double crochet, chain 1, skipped 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet in the next. So this whips up really, really fast. Skip the next single crochet, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, all the way around till we join to the top of the chain 3 over here. As you can see, I finished my double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 row, and I'm going to join to the top of the chain 3, not the 4 but the 3, because the 4th chain counted as our chain 1. So I joined with a slip stitch, and now I'm going to go in this first chain 1 space, pull up a loop, and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to chain 1 more for 4, because the first 3 chains again counted as our double crochet, and then the chain 1. And for the next 3 rows, you're going to be placing 1 double crochet in each of the chain 1 spaces, and then chain 1. Double crochet in the chain 1 space, and chain 1. And we're going to do this all the way around the cowl for 3 more rows, and that's what gives us this fun little texture. So double crochet in the chain 1 space and chain 1 all the way around, and then you'll join to the top of the chain 3 again, and you'll go in that first chain 1 space, and you'll repeat what we did at the beginning of this row, so that we have a total of 4 of these rows. So 3 more rows like this. So I did a couple of rows of the double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. But I was soon discovering that this yarn, with it being so chunky, if I added those extra rows, it might just be too wide for what I was looking for. This one here, the Hometown USA one, has 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of the chain double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 stitch. And this one only has the 3 rows because it was just getting too thick. So this one is a chunky number 7. So if you do the number 7, you may want to do less rows, unless you really want a really thick cowl. So once you've done the amount of rows that you want of the double crochet, the last row is really simple. You're just going to single crochet, 1 single crochet in each chain 1 space, and 1 double crochet in each double crochet. This keeps your number of stitches the same all the way around. You're just going to put a trim of single crochet all the way around, just so that the finished edge looks similar to the beginning edge. You do this all the way around, you join to the top of that first single crochet, then you tie off and weave in your ends. So I finished my row of single crochet all the way around my cowl, and it looks really nice with the single crocheted edge on each edge with those double crochet, skip one, chain one texture stitch in the middle. Of course, this one was the chunky number 7 grande, so I only did the 3 rows because I didn't want it to be too heavy. But it sure is pretty in this purpley color with the sparkle in it. And then, of course, this one is the Hometown USA chunky number 6, I mean. And so I went ahead and did the 5 rows, and I like how it turned out also. The neat thing about these is these are a great gift that you can give to a teacher, a preacher, or a leader in your life, your Girl Scout leader, your mailman, your daughter's cheerleading coach, or anyone in your life that you want to give a nice gift, but you don't have a lot of money or a lot of time. And you know, cowls are wonderful because that you can slip them on, they can go with anything. And of course, this one is for a man or a woman or a child. So depending on what kind of yarn you choose, depends on how your scarf will look. And they're also great to have laying around the house in case you have an unexpected guest that you'd like to give a gift to. You can just roll it up, tie a little bow around it, and give them a gift, and then they don't feel uncomfortable if other people are opening presents. So this is a great gift. It makes a great birthday gift. And remember, you can use any chunky yarn, and you can use 2 or 3 strands of any worsted weight yarn. Just think of the possibilities of the different kinds of cowls that you can make. So this is our Mentor cowl crochet pattern.